You want to take you want to take pictures of the suits and all that, or
Definitely. Yeah.
it's not going to get a whole lot better because mainly this is soil. So it's a time-consuming thing. It's not a hard thing to do, but it takes a lot of time when it gets really bad. It's a lot better than before.
And that's just water that you're using?
No, this is dry cleaner. This is that chemical that I was saying to clean it. It's a petroleum-based product, and it dries up the leather. When you use this product, for sure you have to use care right after it, otherwise the leather will be really dried up.
That would be like that conditioning?
Yeah, you have to condition it, otherwise the leather would be very dry. Okay.
Cool.
Let me get my sponge that I made. So what you do is you put it on and you rub it into the leather as best as you can. Otherwise the leather would be very dry. And maintain it, if you maintain it with cleaner like this, it'll be a lot easier to clean it. You know? If you don't, when the leather is dried up, that means when it's dried up, it's very absorbent. It's going to absorb a lot. This way, it won't absorb a lot. These are all scratches that, you know, but these are going to fade away a little bit once it dries up totally. Yeah, that's it.
And start recording. So, John, could you just explain the basics? Like, simplest things you can do is to carry your gear, to clean it after it gets dirty, and just keep it, keep it in good shape.
To keep the leather goods in condition and keep it in nice shape, the best way is maintain it right after the ride, because the suits, they get soiled and bugs all over the suit. And you can start with a damp rag like this and try to wipe and clean the soil, which on light colored leathers won't come out totally, but at least it'll look a lot better than before. And then you can go over it with product called dry cleaner to take the oily stuff off the leather. And then after that you go over it with conditioner. But if you maintain it every time you ride the bike and use the suit, it's not going to be as bad as this one is. It'll be a lot easier to do it. And in the long run, it pays off. It pays off to maintain it every time you ride it, because these things are not that cheap, you know. And re-dyeing the suit, it'll cost a lot more than cleaning it. So that's the basic thing with the leather. And as far as crush rips, we do all kind of crush repairs on suits. We can change the sleeve, we can change the Kevlars, we can change the what do you call this, Velcro patch on the knees. We do logos, and we can write your name with leather and stitch it on, and we do everything on motorcycle jackets and suits.
But why should somebody take it to someone who specializes in motorcycle gear? What do you do that's
Well,
different?
because if you take this kind of stuff to somebody who works with leather, they're not going to do it the proper way. The proper way is, first of all, everything is being double stitched on this suit. In other words, when you fall down, it won't rip open right away and damage your skin or your body or whatever. That's why it's been double stitched. And these places that you take, make sure that they do double stitching in case you want to take it nearby, leather place where they repair it. But it's a lot of work, and it's not that easy to work with this thing. Sometimes I have to have a helper for me to hold it so I can stitch it, because these things are really heavy. And they're really, really tiring when you work on this thing.
What kind of chemicals and what does the average person need to clean a suit with?
Well, right now what I'm using is water, okay? So damp rag to get the soil out. And then there's a product called dry cleaner, which we use here. It's made by Angelus. Lincoln makes it too, but we prefer Angelus because it's a better product. And then Dio makes it, which is a lot better than all of them, but it's very expensive. And then we use a product called Care. It's made by Cadillac. They have a cleaner too, but it's a very mild cleaner. It's not a strong cleaner. But their conditioner is the best. Cadillac conditioner is really good.
So all you need is a damp rag and those.
Yeah, to everyday maintenance, like whenever you ride and you want to clean it, damp rag and a dry cleaner should do the job. And then you go over it with Cadillac Care and you're done. It won't take as long when you maintain it all the time, and it'll be a lot easier than if you let it go for months and then try to clean it. And most of the time on light color leathers, you're not going to be able to clean it at all. You're going to end up re-dyeing it, which something like this suit will cost $140, $160.
What was that you told me once about if you do a small spot, you should really do the whole rest of the...
Well, like on black, you can do touch-up on small areas. But on colors, because of the type of the leather and type of dye they use on this, it's still going to show when you touch it up. So most of the time we end up dyeing the whole thing, the whole section, whichever is going to look the best. What we do here, we always work to the point that the end product is going to come out like the original. We don't want to add anything to it. We don't want to change anything to it unless the customer asks for it. Other than that, you always try to get it exactly like it was made before. That's the whole goal, And we do a lot of alterations. We make them smaller, bigger. Not everything you can do to the exact size that you want, as far as making it bigger or smaller, because these suits are made with a lot of separate sections, and you cannot disturb the integrity of the suit. Otherwise, it's not going to feel comfortable, or But we do a lot of that too. But our main repairs here is crush repairs, and second is the zipper, jacket zippers, and leg zippers, arm zippers. We get tons of that.
How does somebody know when it's time to do a repair? What are some of the signs, like things they should look for in their gear?
Well, when you see, for example, dryness or too much stretching on the leather, that means that section is going to rip. That's the main thing you have to look, because that would be costly repair. And then when you see the threads like this coming apart, that means that it need to be repaired, because that's going to get bigger and bigger. Like this one, got really big because never been taken care of. Or like this one here, this is just the stitching came undone. It's not a crash or anything, but those are signs to watch out, so it won't get any bigger and worse. Otherwise, then it creates more job, more work to repair it.
Yeah, plus the safety aspect.
Yep, that's right. So that's about it.
Yeah.
Didn't deliver that well. In Washington, I'm Scott Tong for Marketplace. Headline headline you probably haven't heard in a while. Music sales are up this year, only by 1% according to Nielsen SoundScan, but up nonetheless. The leaders of this new song-buying trend? British neo-soul singer Adele's album 21 and Michael Bublé's album called Christmas, two very different styles.
Stop it.
Up so the sales of digital music. As for Bublé, he's pretty happy about it. Wall Street wasn't feeling much of anything today. Let the details when we do the numbers. Economically speaking, let's say 2008 was the year of the crash. 2009 was the year we hit bottom. 2010 was the year we got angry. And 2011 was the year we rose up. From the streets of Cairo to the streets of Athens to the streets of New York, people demanded accountability. Marketplace's David Brancaccio has been covering all of it as part of his Economy 4.0 series, which explores how the new economy can better serve more people. And he joins us now from New York. Hi, David. Hello, Jim. Well, it's been a year of moments all across the world, from the street vendor in Tunisia who sparked the revolution there, to the huge protests in Tahrir Square in Cairo, Egypt, to Zuccotti Park, right where you are in New York City. Is there a moment for you that has stood out as you've covered this year of the rise of the people?
The first one probably comes from, of all people, a big-time CEO, Sir Martin Sorrell, speaking at the World Economic Forum, that gathering of the great and the good in Davos, Switzerland. Sorrell's the head of WPP. It's the biggest advertising company on the planet.
How many minutes,
And
George?
he's speaking in late January.
27.
Talk from the podium about
You have
protests in Tunisia and Egypt. But Sir Martin tells the VIPs in his audience, quote, concentration of wealth.
Okay.
Wall Street reflected that. The Dow slipped 2 points to finish virtually flat at 12,291. The Nasdaq was able to tack on 6 points for a gain of 0.25%, closed at 26.25. The S&P 500 finished right back where it started at 12.65. Just for the record, Bloomberg News reports the tiny gain for the S&P 500 so far this year, a return of just 0.6%.
Yeah.
Is the least it has
Hang on.
in more than 40 years. And I'm sure
Them maybe to do some things that they couldn't do because of the economic challenges. Still, even fracking advocates say drillers need to do more to educate and engage with landowners as rigs continue to go up in the suburbs. Tisha Schuler is the president of the Colorado Oil and Gas Association.
I think the reality is across the country where you have any kind of energy development right now, it's going to be happening in more developed areas.
Back in Firestone, Shane Davis takes a drive through his neighborhood. He says he wants more than just engagement.
Well, the irony, we've got residential areas, yet we've got 25 signs that say danger or toxic chemicals.
Davis says his neighborhood was never meant to accommodate drilling. Colorado recently required energy companies to disclose the concentrations of chemicals used in fracking, but Davis wants even tighter regulations. As it stands, companies only need to maintain a setback of 150 feet when putting up rigs near homes. It's the minimum clearance needed to avoid damage in case the rig tips over. In Denver, I'm Kirk Sigler from Marketplace.
Okay, George.
We had 6 kids, and my Aunt Cindy and Uncle Ron had two.
Just a few minutes, huh?
None of us wanted to go to their house. I'm not even sure my parents did. My brother certainly didn't. There was no way to do it. It was a family event on Christmas Eve. I think my brother Terry was traveling that year, but Phil, Scott, Russ, Darla, and I all had to go. Every light in the house was doused. My stepmother turned the thermostat down to 58 since we wouldn't be there, and we all piled into my dad's Lincoln Continental. My Aunt Cindy makes this frozen brandy punch that I drank each year. I only got noticeably drunk the first year. I was 8. By 1975, when I was 10, I was an old hand at pacing myself. The party was so ridiculously adult that my parents didn't want to be there to some extent. They had created the artificial excuse to go do an errand during the night. They'd leave. I never noticed. They were all abandoned in the middle of the drunkest people in Wisconsin you've ever met. Granted, I was half in the bag. An hour or so later, after hearing my Uncle Ron's Polish Santa falls off the roof story for the millionth time, they would come back, collect us all, and take us home. We'd pull up to the house, and they'd fake argue. Did you leave the lights on? No. Did you? Why is the tree on? What happened? We'd all go into the house, only the tree was lit. You could see all the wrapped presents on the floor surrounding the tree.
Okay, that's good. Okay, Toño. Eso está con...
¿Dónde pones esta bien aquí?
Leaves from a fossil
Okay.
concert by the sea.
Ese ahora cosemos
You're
igual de
listening
esto.
to America's #1 jazz
How much?
and blues station, KJLS 88.1. Helen Borger's here until
Okay.
7 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
What was big?
Okay, ahora está. Okay. ¿Tú todavía grabando, Toño?
Sí, stop.
Okay.
Eugene say the trick now is for Pyongyang to make the country's new leader, Kim Jong-un, seem less like his father and more like his grandfather. Defector Lee Hyun-sol says, based on the images she's seen of Kim Jong-un from today's funeral, that's exactly what the North is trying to do.
옛날 김정은 사진 봤을 때 되게 난씬했었거든요.
I've seen pictures of Kim Jong-un from a few years ago. He was slim then. I think he put on a lot of weight to look more like his grandfather. He even wears the same kind of suit and has the same...
¿Recordando, Tony?
Concentrate their minds and recognize that they're moving into a new era. At least
John, I got a jacket, you got a,
Okay, Tony. Yeah?
¿Sí?
Vámonos. 600,000 cows so far. They slaughtered older cows when the drought hit. Now they've cut into breeding stock. And Texas is so big, it's not like other states can just pick up the slack.
This business isn't going to move to Nebraska just because it's been dry in Texas. It's not going to work that way.
Plunkett says it'll take years for Texas grass to grow back enough to feed cattle. He expects steak prices to beef up by the end of 2012. As for the other pillar of Texas agriculture,
Yeah, Tony.
¿Sí?
Sí.
Mismo cuando está Piana.
Yo quiero que ella...
Dios, dice 27, media hora ya no, lleva 27 minutos. Quedan 2 minutos y medio solamente para recordar.
26 and we keep on going until we're
Okay.
finished.
Okay.
Right there, Norm, jump.
You see that has to dry up because reds, yellows, and greens and light blues, those are transparent colors. You have to do like 2-3 coats in order to cover the area. You can't cover it with one coat. Brown, black, or white you can cover, but not with colors. It's a lengthy process.
Is it possible to make that dark spot completely go away, or
Oh yeah.
really?
A lot of times what he does, he will go over it with lighter color, let's say white or whatever, then he goes with red, because this is, what do you call that? It's a darker color, okay, right here. It's a darker color, so what he's doing, he's slowly covering it up, you know. He's going to go lighter and lighter until he covers it. Because like I said, red, yellow, blue, these are transparent colors. It takes a lot of work to cover it, you know. So yeah, he's using very, very light. That's another thing. You can't put too much dye, otherwise it will crack. You have to use as little as possible, you know, as thin as possible. See, he's getting there,
Yeah.
and it's covering.
You barely tell where it was.
Yeah. See, he hasn't done anything to this yet. He just prepared that one, so.
You know, on camera it looks just about done, I think.
Well, you can stop if you want, you know.
Like, yeah, I wonder, like, how many... Actually, I like getting the rest of that. How many coats does it usually take?
Well, it all depends, you know, the shade of the color, you know. But colors like this, at least 4 or 5 coats, very thin 4 or 5 coats, you know.
Got it,
Yeah, there you go.
Got him here.
Done.
Not focusing. All right. Beautiful.
Okay. You tell me when you're gonna record and.
I think we're good.
Okay. All right. This is a crash repair that we're gonna try to make it as good as look as possible. The leather's already damaged, so what he's gonna do is gonna get the residue as much as possible off the leather. Once it dries up, then he's gonna sand it and smooth it out as best as they can, these areas. And then they mix the color to match whatever color they need, and then they dye it. And then after it dries up, we put conditioner on the leather to keep the leather moist, because all these chemicals we use, it dries the leather a little bit. It has to be conditioned so it won't crack in the future. And when the leather is dyed, the maintenance has to be continued, otherwise it will dry up faster than regular leathers. You have to maintain it. Yeah? Okay, you can stop.
We are here at Anthony's Leatherworks in Corona Del Mar, and I want to learn about the specialized world of garment repair and restoration, but we are talking about for motorcycles. This is the owner, Greg. How are you, Greg?
Nice to meet you.
Good. So how did you get involved with motorcycle garment repair?
Well, believe it or not, around 20 years ago, we started doing leather jackets for Harley Davidson customers. And over time, that evolved. People liked it so much that another company called Denese came to us and wanted us to do their repairs as well. From that point on, we realized, hey, we got something good going here. So we went to another company called Alpine Star that also makes manufactures jackets. And from then, that spurred up, and now we're getting things from all over the country.
So yeah, so we're not talking about actually repairing the motorcycle, but the actual clothes they wear, the jacket.
Leather jackets, suits.
So they can be repaired?
They can be repaired. Well, a lot of problems occur because they have accidents. Okay, they fall down or something or in their motorcycle. So we do a lot of section replacements. For example, when they ruin the sleeve or the leg and they have a big hole in it, we could replace a whole section of the garment. We replace zippers, we replace the pads that go all around it. We even do a leather alteration where we could take it in and make it smaller when it's too big for them. We even do, what we do is we dye the garments. When people want to come in and they want to change the color of it, we can make it from white to red, for example. Oh. So wherever the event they're going to, they have a new jacket.
So what's the best way? Do you have a website? And let's give out your website, your phone number.
We have a website. It's called anthonysleatherworks.com, and our phone number is 800-823-1236. Easy, and you could go on there, and it'll give you more information about what we do.
Okay, so the repairs are done in the back?
Yeah, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to show you how we dyed the leather jackets to restore it back to the original color or to change the color, and then we'll take you up to our leather department where we actually do the repairs for leather section replacements and things of that nature.
Okay, we are going into, what is this, the leather?
This is our leather department upstairs in our store, and what I want to show you today is the leather jackets that we repair, okay? For example, this one here, you see the whole side was damaged. Must have got into a big accident.
Right.
Anyway, we're going to end up replacing this whole section here, keeping this, of course, so when you see this after, it's going to look almost like brand new. I want to show you this boot. This boot was totally messed up on the inside when we relined the whole inside. Okay, so that's stuff we do. This one, we replace all the buckles. Okay? Gloves, it got all torn, and we ended up restitching the whole thing. Okay? A lot of these others, we did zipper replacement, accessory replacement, so we do them all here.
Oh, okay, so you do the gloves, you do the jackets, you do pants, you do boots, They can ship it here to Anthony Leatherworks. How do they get a hold of you again?
They can ship it to us by going to our website at anthonysleatherworks.com or calling our 800 number is 800-823-1236.
Hey, they can fix it.
We do their warranty work, but you know.
Hi, my name is Greg from MX Boot Resole Repair, and today we're going to show you how we resole motocross boots. Especially we're going to concentrate on the Alpine Star molded soles of Tech 7, 3, and 10 boots. We're one of the only facilities in the United States that can safely apply the actual Alpine Star soles onto these kind of boots. MX Boot Resole and Repair is also able to resole other types of molded sole boots other than Alpine Stars. Even if we do not have access to the actual factory soles of that brand, we could insert Vibram soles. Vibram has a wide variety of choices to choose from that can be applied directly to the molded soles without ruining the integrity of it. There are a few processes involved in applying an Alpine Star sole to the boots. We have various machines that we use in that process. One of the machines is a heat activator, okay, that will activate the glue so it comes off easily. The next is the molded press that presses all around to put these boots together. What we see here are the lasts that we use that go into the boot to give form and hold, so when we put the soles on we have something to grab it onto. These lasts were custom made because each last that we see here has a wider base than any normal boot would, so it grabs the motocross. The first machine in the process is our heat activator machine. This machine right now is applying heat to the critical areas of the sole, so then when the technician peels it off, it comes off very easily without destroying the boot and comes off nicely to prepare it for the new sole. Now that the sole has been activated, you can see here that he's taking off the existing sole on there. If the heat activation was done properly, this process should not be that difficult, but it's still a painstakingly process to get the whole thing off. Once he gets it off, then it's going to be ready to sand and prepare for the new sole to be put on. The next step in the process is he's going to sand the sole of the boot. So he prepares it for the glue that's going to be on there because it's got to be roughed up so the glue holds well. The next step is he's going to actually sand the inside of the sole to make it rough to hold the glue on that as well. The next step is applying the glue to the actual sole. This involves a three-step process of different chemicals that have to be used in proper procedure so the glue holds properly. First, you can see he's cleaning the inside again to take off any residue with a special glue that we have. Next, he's going to take the actual glue and start putting it on the sole. The trick is that the glue has to be applied in every little section of the sole and not to miss one piece, because if you miss a little section, when we put it on the press later on, it won't adhere properly. So every little section has to be achieved on the sole and on the boot as well. The next step is the activation of the glue that we just applied to the sole and the boot. So we're heating it up now so it activates, so when we put it together, it goes on nicely. The next step involved is actually applying the sole to the boot now that it has been properly activated. So you can see here that he's going to take it and secure it on there, each section properly, so it gets a great hold to it. The next step in the process is pressing the sole and the boot together. As you can see now, the balloon is filling up on all the sides equally, so it could press the boot and the sole together. What's going to happen is we're going to leave this on for a good 5 to 10 minutes to get a great seal to it, so that when we're done with it, there won't be any gaps at all. Now that we effectively attached the boot to the sole, we're almost finished with the process. As you can see, all the seals are nice and tight and it's very strong, so when the customer gets it, he won't have a problem with it coming off or any seams or any leaking of moisture coming in. The last process involved is just cleaning the boot up, removing any glue that's remaining, and then shipping it out to the customer. This concludes our video series of how we install Tech 3, Tech 7, and Tech 10 boots. If you want further information, just go to our website at mxbootrepair.com or call us at 800-823-1236. We get boots from all over the country, and our turnaround time mostly is around 3 to 4 days, with some exceptions, and our prices start at $79.99 and go up accordingly to the complexity of the work that's involved. Thank you for watching.